2024 has been a year, to say the least. Looking back at my 2023 video, I realized just how depressed I was back then, and I don't want to do that again because that was really sad, honestly. Especially since I'm a lot better now, and there's a lot to talk about this year in terms of visual media. This year feels like it was nothing but sequels with a lot of underrated films sandwiched in between them. I mean, Inside Out 2, Moana 2, Gladiator 2, Sonic 3, Deadpool and Wolverine, Dune Part 2, Joker 2, another Planet of the Apes movie, Despicable Me 4, Smile 2. The list is honestly endless at this point, really. But let's not focus on those meaningless cash grabs, as good as some of them actually are. Instead, let's take a look at the good, the bad, and the ugly of the visual media in 2024. I think what surprised me the most was just how well certain films did. Particularly Transformers 1, Inside Out 2, and Wicked. Especially with all the behind-the-scenes drama with Wicked. Yes, I completely thought that these were all going to be cash grabs. But after the really positive reviews that I heard from my peers, I gave it a shot, and found that all three of them were actually really good. I just hope Pixar keeps making original content rather than sequels, though. And considering the very high possibility that all three of these films will get sequels in the future, I hope they're handled with more care. But let's not waste too much time on this. We've got a lot more things to talk about. Now, before we get to the substance of the sandwich of this video, let's shout out some honorable mentions because these films were really good and they deserve to have more people check them out. For those wondering, that would be... Here, A Real Pain, music by John Williams. Aurora, Did I, Longlegs, Heretic, Conclave, Kinds of Kindness, I Saw the TV Glow, Saturday Night, We Live in Time, Ultraman Rising, The Substance, Unsung Hero, Hundreds of Beavers, My Old Butt, and of course, everyone's favorite, Megamind. Kish Kinda Condom. Apologies if I mispronounced that name. Also Deadpool and Wolverine. Now is about we shine some spotlight on the best films of this year that were very slept upon, apparently. Starting with...
Might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
If you saw the short that I made in response to this trailer, then you'll recall that I said this was going to be one of my favorite films of this year. I'm happy to report that I was right. It baffles and bothers me that no one has checked out this film. What seems like a typical documentary turns into something far more brilliant and way more emotional than it should be. And I love it. I'm honestly going to go on record and say that Piece by Piece is one of my favorite documentaries of all time, solely because of how they did it. My favorite thing about this film was it was actually shot like a documentary, and then they just animated over it in Lego as per Pharrell's request. And by giving itself to the unlimited potential that Lego possesses, it not only lends itself brilliantly to how Pharrell's mind works as well as his creativity, but just showcases how creative he is as a person. Truly, I didn't know half of the things that Pharrell did aside from everything that came after Happy. And now that I do know all this stuff, I value and appreciate him so much more with whatever he chooses to make and do. And again, if you haven't seen this film, go watch it. You're sleeping on one of the best films of this year alone. Plus, it's unironically incredibly funny, so please, just check it out. I promise you'll have a lot of fun.
Life can only be understood backwards, but we have to leave it forwards.
Say cheese, Gracie.
Anything I could say about Memoir of a Snail would not do it justice. All you need to know is that it was made by the same people who made Mary and Max, a powerful and very emotional stop-motion story. And this film is no different. And if that's not enough to convince you to watch it, just go watch it. It's beautiful, it's heartwarming, it's unbelievably great, and there's a reason it's nominated for a Golden Globe as the best animated film this year.
じゃあ、藤野ちゃんはなんで書いてるの?
Watch Look Back, and if you cannot watch it, pick up the one shot. Please. Look Back is my favorite film of this year. I still have not recovered from watching it. It's such a simple, but unbelievably powerful and impactful story. I was crying throughout most of this film solely because of just how beautiful and how hard-hitting it was. And yes, the reason for that may be just because I want to pursue a similar passion myself, but I don't care. It's still just as effective if it was about something else entirely. What may look like a simple story about pursuing one's passion and desire to improve as an artist turns into an emotional roller coaster of sadness, regret, and unrealistically real thoughts put to screen. I cried for 5 minutes after watching this film solely because of how well written it was. I was just emotionally destroyed by the story that I had just witnessed in the best way possible. So yeah. Curse you, Tatsuki Fujimoto, for being really good at making stories. But, back to the point. I love this story, and more people need to watch this. Now. So again, if you have some time, go on Prime and watch it. Or if you can't, please pick up a copy of Look Back. Trust me, the story is more than worth your time. Okay, now that I'm done crying my eyes out, let's talk about the absolute worst of 2024.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
It bothers me that when we look at the behind the scenes of the Borderlands movie, it looks like they know what they're doing, but the result is a horrible, horrible mess of a film. I want to say the only good thing about this film was that the actor for Tiny Tina looked like she was actually doing a really good job with portraying what she had. And I wish I could say the same for Jamie Lee Curtis because she is such a great actor. But that's just the problem with this film. These are all great actors, but they're not given anything good to work with. I really enjoy Kevin Hart and Jack Black when they're in really good roles, but here they're just not given anything good with their roles to work with or build off with one another. I really thought Jack Black as Claptrap was going to be a really good idea, but this just makes me hate Claptrap. And I really enjoy him in the Borderlands games, so you know that's how this film really messed up. I'm sorry, I usually try to be positive when looking at anything negative, but there is just absolutely nothing of value to look at when I'm looking at the Borderlands movie. Well, besides the fact that it needed at least 20 more rewrites. But as bad as the Borderlands movie is, it doesn't even remotely compare to
Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate.
No! Wait.
I have no words to express my disappointment of Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. Well, besides the fact that Madam Web makes more sense than it does, so... It really, really irks me to no end that Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate is this bad, because I really, really love Megamind. The first Megamind film is one of my favorite animated films, period. So the fact that this is the continuation of that story, let alone a sequel to the brilliance that was followed up with it, just destroys me every possible chance that it gets. I loathe, despise, and just abhor this idea. There is no purpose for Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. There wasn't even an idea. They just saw that Megamind was becoming popular again and were like, oh, we can cash in on this for sure. And I hate those films. I hate those with a burning, fiery passion. You're wondering where you went wrong with this? Look at every single thing you did in this, and ask yourself why. There is so much more that I could say, but I gotta keep this video going, so I'm just gonna stop here. But wait, why is the dehydration gun And now it's time for my favorite part of this video, Indi animation. First, hats off to Glitch Productions for just pushing the boundaries of indie animation and what it can accomplish, especially with that new Netflix deal. That's going to be a very big game changer and is probably one of the best things indie animation has accomplished so far. And hats off to every indie animation creator and team for getting their chance in the spotlight this year. Even if I'm not able to shine some spotlight on you this year, please know that you've done great work and will be rewarded in the long run. For now, let's talk about the biggest one that I think made the most impact this year.
Welcome to the world of Pip's Sketchbook.
I can't even begin to tell you how much I love The Art of Murder. It's both such a fresh and a really great take on this kind of idea, while also being a love letter to its audience, regardless if you never went through this kind of phase. I love everything about this, from the story to the animation style to even the little references that they make that both have no purpose to be there, yet carry the story along so wonderfully.
新しいアニメのキャラかもしれないぜ。ピップ様は最近始まった約束のフォーエバーランドってアニメを見始めたって言ってた。
It better not be that prosecutor Ledgeworth. He's my biggest competition in the video game industry. If Pip switched to being a Comcap fangirl...
And while we're on the topic of that, the fact that this is a musical murder mystery is just chef's kiss, honestly.
Welcome to the world. Welcome to the world of Pip's sketchbook. Where we come to life. Where we come to life every night. Welcome to the world. Welcome to the world of Pip's sketchbook. And when the clock strikes midnight, we wake up each night.
Truly, if you haven't watched this pilot, go watch it. There's a little something for everyone in it, and I guarantee you will be fully invested by the end of it. Plus, all the jabs and call-outs in the animation community are just perfect, honestly. I don't think I've found a pilot that made me love animation more than The Amazing World of Gumball did. So please, go watch The Art of Murder. It is a love letter to everything animation is capable of, and you're missing out on it. Now let's move on to the next one before I make a whole video talking about all the theories that I have just from this animated pilot alone. Port by the Sea gives me so much Cartoon Network vibes, it's not even a joke. Man, I miss those days. Seriously, this looks like something to come out of Cartoon Network, and not just because it has a Steven Universe-like style to it. It also kind of reminds me of Genndy Tartakovsky and all of his work. Truly though, Port by the Sea has a really good and interesting concept that I'd love to see explored. Plus, this pilot is honestly just worth checking out for the character designs alone. Truly, there's a lot of great stuff to be found, be it its animation, setting, writing, and just everything else, honestly. So, yeah, go check out Port by the Sea. You won't regret it. Okay, time to talk about the big one. I still don't know how to feel about Pieces of Powder, and I think that just shows how brilliant and amazing it is. If you need proof that indie products can make something amazing, please watch this pilot. Not only does Pieces of Powder actually depict realistic thoughts that one has in an awkward transitional period, but it does it in such a unique and visually stunning way that I have just no comment, except that it's gorgeous, and this needs to be made into a full series. If not now, then as soon as possible. Seriously. It's been a while since I've seen anything like this, and man, I miss it. Which is why I think I'm so on board with it. I don't know, maybe I just love this kind of stuff too much, but I really just think that we need more writing like this so that way people know that they're not alone when they think about this stuff. 2024 was how I described it last year. It was the year that I healed. I got better, I got worse, I fell down, I kept getting back up, and I found what I was looking for. My family, my friends, my life, and my drive to keep moving forward. I'm far better than I was last year, and I think I will continue to get better. I think my biggest takeaway from this year was that it's okay to not feel okay, and that we need each other in order to move forward and get better. I don't know what 2025 holds for us, but I do know this. I'll be right beside all of you, taking whatever life throws at us and dealing whatever hand we're dealt. And no matter what, I'll walk right beside all of you, and I'll continue to make the content that you all like to watch. Thank you all for joining me in my journey in 2024, and I can't wait to see you all in 2025. May the Lord be with you all, through all your ups and downs and challenges life throws at you, and may we all find some great content to enjoy in the next year.